issues also. Maybe some people understand that it is very, very tough on the youth. We had a coup, we have a war. A lot of young people have gone to school to graduate, they get one degree, they get another one, expecting to get a job. They don't have jobs. And that's the reason we talk about speeding up all of these negotiations for investment. If we don't do that, we have a backlog of people who are without job, people in the streets. Some of them have skills, they can't put them to use. So we need to create some jobs. People need to be employed. If they're not employed, you and I are in trouble because we'll be at our doors, our offices. For example, the youth program that the SOEs contributed to, they just sent up an announcement. More than 15,000 people turned up to show you the gravity of the situation. And sometimes we say we don't have this, we don't have that, but sometimes we can be penny wise and pound foolish. Because if we don't take care of some urgent matters soon, we're on to more difficult. So these negotiations, we want to
The Vice President, we just want to say thank you for being here today. And I believe that you will do the right thing. You're always doing it. I've been knowing you since you were a businessman coming down to be senator of my county. You did something good. Bring it to the Liberian people. They need you. Now remember, 2029 is coming. If you're ready, we are ready. I thank you so much, Liberian. God bless you.
That makes it more frustrating. The Rural Law Caucus is going to make a remark. We are almost closing now. Again, using the Constitution, we want to announce a few leadership of this party because we are moving immediately to take our position for CMT Global, and Ms. Deborah Sharp. She's the regional chair for Western or Midwest United States for CMT USA. Mr. Semu Connor is chairperson of the regional body of the West Coast of the United States.
So these experts are here to work along with us in our ongoing investigation. They're not opening a separate investigation outside of what we're doing, but rather to work and support us to fill the gaps in areas that strengthen our investigation even further. We have agreed that we'll have a joint press briefing after the work, so when it is done, we'll call you all together so that we can sit and give you a more detail on their behavior. So for now, we'd like to start at that particular point.
So our first question, I'm Rufus Cannon from Love TV and Love FM. Who extended the invite to them?
The government of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
So how many days will it be here for?
Well, it depends. It depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah, so they say in the public, there are some public perception that the police have already started investigation.
The police being investigated from the
police already have a person of interest as it relates to the case. But people are concerned, why didn't the police invited these experts to help them for people that the people are person of interest?
Because the police have sufficient reason to charge. Sufficient reason to charge, and that's why we went ahead to charge. So when this thing started, we started to make all the arrangements, seeking mutual legal assistance. It went through and then it ran into transition within the U.S. and that.
We are engaging for 2029. We are working to build a country for the Liberians. You want to build yourself for 2029, you can just resign and go start preparing for them. We want a Liberia now. You don't know the old thing here, dry meat sweet, where you be. The people want to eat now. You can go and wait for 2029 for them to do, but the people in Liberia want to live now. So I just want to make sure people talk about racial, but we leave it voluntary so that if you think that you want to engage in 2029, you can just leave and give the other people a chance to live. So I want to thank you.
The partnership, these partnerships have succeeded because they are built on mutual interests, strong governance framework, and long-term commitment. They have improved access to electricity by about 31%, driving economic growth, driven economic growth, and create a roadmap for further investment in clean energy and infrastructure. The next decade presents an opportunity to build on these successes by scaling renewable energy investment. Liberia aims to increase its hydropower capacity, expand solar infrastructure, and explore wind energy solutions. With Mount Coffee expansion from 8 megawatt to 132 megawatt, including a 20 megawatt solar farm, 16 megawatt scattered solar project, and the Seaport 2 hydro project 150 megawatt. We envision a cleaner and more resilient energy mix.
The way the budget vote is presented to the public, to the legislature, that is deception, in my view, that monies approved under the budget by the legislature, signed into law by the president, that the Ministry of Finance will spend it for different purposes and bring it back to us, print it back as though they have spent it in line with the intent of the law. Now, through this hearing, the minister is admitting that what was appropriated for Cape Power by this legislature what I'm saying the budget book, the budget book still carries it. So let us not.
The legislature did not do appropriation for Cape Power.
Right. The budget book still carries.
It carries that there's an upturn.
Not only upturn, pro tem.
There's a budget line in upturn.
There's a budget line.
Upturn shows that expenditure was made.
Even though we are saying that we did not make any appropriation, but the budget book is reflecting that this legislature and the executive made that.
No, Senator Brown. Order, Madam President. Order, please.
Senator Dillon.
Thank you. No, my order to my colleague is, legally, we remove Cape Power from the national budget when we did a recap in September. During which time, Minister Gafuan had just taken over, and he presided over the recap of the budget. By law, we have removed Cape Power. So at the end of 2024 budget year, which includes the recap era, still carries Cape Power with some expenditure or turn, it's cause for alarm.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
the point I'm making.
Senator Brown, if you say we appropriate that for Cape Power, then it's a slightly misleading information because we remove Cape Power from the budget. So the 2024, so the 2024 fiscal outline should have nothing to do with K-Power. How did K-Power by fiscal outline get $370 some more thousand dollars?
All right,
It's the
all right.
question we're asking for answer.
I agree. Assuming what you're saying, information. Please, you have your time. Let me conclude, please. Pro tem, there are two issues. The legislature, the senators are saying that in the recast, K-Power allocation was removed. But what we are seeing from the budget book, that instructions from the legislature was not followed. The MFDP still kept K-Power into the budget. And they have used that budget in excess. But they are saying that they did not use the money for K-Power. What did they use it for? So two investigations that this hearing should derive. One, why the recast that was done, removing the 374,000 allocation on the K-Power, why did the Ministry of Finance keep it there? The second investigation will establish where did this money go? What
Okay, folks, I'd like to say thanks for joining us tonight. Liberia. It's a great way to welcome you to another edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics and spoon. In Africa, we are here coming to you live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We are live on Fabric Radio and a host of other radio stations across the country. Many thanks to our affiliate radio stations that are always relaying the program. You want to know? My name is Nelson Colette, and of course, this edition of Spoon Talk is live across our social media handles. We're live on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We're also on YouTube, and our YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. Want to appreciate all of you for joining us tonight. Kindly share the program as you come on. It's going to be a great conversation tonight. A lot to talk about. Too many things happening across the country. Let's hope we can discuss Liberia tonight and bring you the updates and provide you the analysis around those different issues and provide you the opportunity as well where you can have a say on those different issues of concerns here tonight. Again, I'd like to say welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining the program tonight. Spoon TV, the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Thanks for joining us tonight. Well, there's a whole lot to talk about. We ask you to kindly share the program as you join us. Please share the show across your different social media handles. Let's hope we can have you share the program tonight. Let's hope all of you can share the program across your different social media handles as we get the show started tonight. Thanks for joining us. Well, there's a whole lot. Just before bringing you the updates, let me welcome a few of you. Noah C. Elliott, thank you for coming on tonight. Rosita Fleming, thank you for coming on. The force. I see Kaifa Yaman is here tonight. Thank you for coming on. I see Rufus Quena. Mr. Quena, we appreciate you as well for joining us tonight. All of you, Natalie Weah, thank you for coming on tonight as well. I see Eric McGill is with us. Hipko Kazi joining us as well. Hence for Joseph Lai Kanen, Evelyn Yamomo, I see Morris, Moses, Mongai, and all of you joining us tonight. Joki, and so many of you joining us. Thank you for coming on tonight on this edition of the program. Let me bring the team on gradually. I see all of you, Jay Johnson, and so many of you joining us. We appreciate you for coming on the show tonight. Let me go across and bring Josh on. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. It's good to be on. Yeah, let's have a wonderful show.
Yes, definitely. It's good to be on tonight as
Hmm.
we talk Liberia, discuss the issues, and get the conversation, the national discourse going on. Well,
Definitely.
we uh, we have a lot to talk about tonight.
Mhm.
Let me just run through a few of the updates just before getting the show started officially.
Hmm.
Let's run through a few of the updates here. Uh, uh, so now I want us to start with the cabinet meeting the president had today. President Joseph Yuma Boakai had a cabinet meeting today, bringing together some top members of the cabinet. In At the very start of the second year of this administration, the president is engaged. He's meeting now. Quite recently, there was another meeting the president conducted with some members of his cabinet, and today we see another one going on again. It's been one engagement to another engagement to another engagement, um, and all of that. So the president met with members of the cabinet. There were lots of issues discussed, but key amongst those things, the president is urging um, a uniform approach to address the growing wave of mob violence across the country. So the president has taken keen interest in the wave of mob violence across the country. Uh, Somebody says, row, row. Before you know, nobody asks question. Everyone runs there, mob that person. There has been the occurrence of these things back to back across the country. And so the president at the meeting today with the members of the cabinet, he was addressing them. They need to take some actions as one group, as a team, to ensure they can curb mob violence. And how do we do that? What exactly is going to be the strategy of the government to do this? How does the government intend to roll out that policy? Does does mob violence take away anything from our country? Is this something that's happening? Of course, mob violence is almost everywhere around the place. And have we had victims of recent of mob violence? Yes, that's something that's been happening across the country. And so the president has taken keen interest in this, and he took up some of his time at the cabinet meeting today to talk about the need for officials of government to address the issue from there. Well, there's issue of contempt charge hanging over the labor minister. Today at the Liberian Senate, the plenary of the Liberian Senate took a decision to summon the labor minister. Why? They want Minister Copper Kura to give reasons to explain why he should not be held in contempt for allegedly refusing to provide essential documents detailing the issuance of work permit to foreigners in Liberia. Now, Senator DeLong, when he raised this particular issue, went on to say that the labor minister has issued over 800 work permit in just a short time frame, over 800 work permit to non-Liberians. And the last time I listened to another senator speak on this issue was Senator Momo Cyrus. He was talking about the situation with Liberians, how job is scarce. Most people are not working in the country, but the labor ministry is using the Ministry of Labor as a revenue generating institution by selling work permit to non-Liberians. And so this is a concern that has been lingering at the Liberian Senate for some time. And today it resurfaced. And so they've summoned the labor minister to appear before that body to give substantial document, to give reasons why there is so much issuance of labor, or let's say work permit, to non-Liberians. But on the flip side, George, I know you followed this whole conversation about the vice president debate. Let's say his engagement in the U.S. When he was interviewed. The vice president was asked about his relationship. What is it like with you and former President George Weah? Last time we checked, he refused to shake your hand, and the public has been concerned about this issue. And a lot of other questions, the engagement was a good one. And the vice president opened up. He said the vice presidency or the presidency is nobody's property. Former President George Weah was president. When he going to work, I used to park my car. Now he's no longer president. I am a vice president. I'm more than him. When I'm going to work, he parks his car when I'm going to work. I'm a vice president of the Republic of Liberia right now. Yesterday was your time. You were president. Today is my time. I'm vice president. You are a common citizen, and let's respect each other. That statement has taken, the center stage for discussion in several quarters across. And today, the CDC Youth League had a press conference where they said they are now officially declaring the vice president a persona non grata for the statement made against their leader, teacher, and political leader, former President George Weah. We're going to talk about all of these things here tonight. Let's hope we can have the time to flip through these different conversations. So yes, that statement, is something that has got, a lot of people concerned. Declaring the vice president.
I am concerned as well, Nelson, and it's comical. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm just saying, declaring the vice president a persona non grata, what significant impact does it make? What do you benefit from it? How does it change or affect anything? Was the press conference necessary in the first place? No, George, we're about to start the conversation. Was the press conference necessary in the first place? Did the guys have anything tangible to say? The vice president of the Republic of Liberia is doing his job. He was appointed, he was elected by the Liberian people on the same ticket along with the president. And now he's doing his job. How does declaring the vice president a persona non grata impact or change anything? But these are concerns. And I just want to end up with the two final updates here. Then we're gonna move on to the show. Get you to do your opening, Josh, and then we can start with the different conversations tonight. But Senator Miguel wrote a communication to the Liberian Senate today, calling the Liberian Senate to investigate how 2 million project 200 million project that was implemented by the past administration under the Agriculture Ministry's STARP and RETRAP program, how the money was expended. He wants the Liberian Senate to start to investigate. And pieces of information have started to surface. and that's another important issue there. And of course, the lower house took a decision today.
Mm.
There are additional members of the lower house that have been suspended. Additional members of the lower house have been suspended. Well, Representative Yeka Koluba suspended. Maybe we should make a whole listing of suspended lawmakers. Representative Yeka Koluba suspended. Representative, 7 lawmakers were suspended. I'm going to put the listing up of those 7 lawmakers that were suspended. But the decision was taken today based on the fact, the failure of those lawmakers to go to session. Now, why that is happening, the House of Representatives is so many officials of the telecommunication from the Telecom International Alliance and the Liberia Telecommunication Authority to answer to the issues of corruption within the sector. And there's just a whole lot to talk about tonight, Josh. I want us to start the show. The United Methodist Church is back in the news, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And this conversation is getting interesting by the day. But I want us to start the show. I want us to start the show. There's just a whole lot. I hope we can have the luxury of time to go through everything we have to talk about here tonight. Mobile, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Rudolph, it's been over 5 months. It's good to have you on tonight. And I want to welcome everyone.
It's good to be back, guys. It's good to be back.
Yeah, whenever you go, when you come back, your job, everything, your cheek, everything can stand up like the Walagisi Mountain. But somebody sent me photos. They
say that baby.
Yeah, somebody sent me photos. They say Rudolph just eating. The man just eating. He just eating.
Frozen chicken. Frozen chicken.
You don't know, Nelson.
You see, from let's say the late Senator Prince Johnson said, who are drinking profusely, drinking and sweating profusely. And the person calling. Nobody will hear that one from my mom. But from the late Senator Prince Johnson said somebody was drinking and sweating profusely. Then the person calling from Palestine. And then for Palestine. How can you be a for Palestine then you call another person for Palestine? Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But I want us to start the show now. Mobile, welcome to the show. Josh, welcome. Rudolph, it's good to have you on. And let's get you do your opening, Josh. Let's hear from you. What's on your mind?
Look, thank you, Nelson. Look, what's on my mind today is the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia referring to the former president as a common citizen. Nelson is not just insulting, but also denigrating. President Weah, love him or not love him, he's not a common citizen. And even before he became president, he wasn't a common citizen. Even before he became senator, he was not a common citizen. For the vice president to utter those words, I think it's more divisive. I think the vice president quest, for leadership through the vote reached Nimba. He has succeeded to become vice president, and there was no need for him to divide the Liberian people over his comments in America, referring to the former president as a common citizen. I think if you keenly look at Liberia and look at how we are as a people, I think anywhere you place President Weah and how they call him, the current vice president, they will choose Weah first. Weah is more recognizable to Liberians and all around the world. If you take him now, put him anywhere in the world, and put President Weah beside him and say, "Do you know these people?" The first person that will point out to be known is President Weah. So it just tells you how this man is ill prepared for the leadership position that he occupies. And it's pathetic, that we'll have to have people in leadership who don't have the zest or the mentality to create unity or to quell down any hostilities among people. I think it's ridiculous, Nelson.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
That's part of our talking point tonight. So I don't want to engage with you that much on that till we get there. But
No worries.
who is a common citizen? What does it mean to be a common? No, we will get to the conversation. But these are just questions that are lingering. Especially as this conversation is going on. Who is a common citizen? What does it mean to be a common citizen? Was he speaking in context? What context was he speaking in? What prompted the conversation? What was the background of the statement made by the vice president? What was he speaking some real truth here? Was he speaking some hard truth? What sparked? What led to the conversation? We're going to delve into different sides of this particular issue here. But let's hear your opinion, Rudolph. What's on your mind?
Nelson, as always, what is on my mind is the Liberian people. But I was very happy when you mentioned, when you mentioned what is the like when you were trying to ask us what is the cause, what prompted the vice president to make such a statement. And Nelson, the answer is simple. I think it's just the arrogance from the former president. Him failing to be humble enough to understand that power has shifted, and therefore he should sit in his current role as a private citizen and allow people who are in charge to run the country. It's no secret that Mr. Weah is famous, he's popular, or what have you. But let's put the truth where the truth belongs. Jeremiah Kuhn is the second citizen in the country right now. It's not the president. It's not the former president. So when he says that he is bigger than Mr. Weah in the country, that's true. Where is the lie, my brother? You see, when I watched that press conference today, it just told me that we have a bunch of I would say less basic people in Liberia who just gather around and just because this was clear and there is nothing to argue about.
We're really not going to the press conference yet, but thank you. I appreciate you. Moba, you want to do your opening quickly?
Yes. Look, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to my fellow panelists. Thank you to our listeners. Look, you see, what on my mind is it's just frustrating that a lot of people would take a former president to be a god or demigod while they watch it. Like anything they say to him, it pins them to the extent that they can say anything they want to say. But Godson, we are on his page, threatening the vice president, trying to attack his convoy. They will not discuss about that because he only said the message of just common citizen. So at least when his time comes, that's fine. But his time already passed. He was once his president, but now he's not. So what's the big deal? Is that for somebody to say, the man, no matter what he like it or not, he's a common citizen. And that's true. We'll say former president, we agree. But we'll come here every day, we just get a certain group of people. They just get to worship George Weah. They can worship God again. They just get George Weah Moyome in their room, on their phone, in the morning, they bow down, they worship it. That's the fact. They worship their God too much to the extent that someone got angry with them. Well, even God, they play God right now. Because they worship him. You can't even say George Weah can walk good. They come for you. You can't even say George Weah go play football to the Joe. They come for you. Because that's the mentality. That's how that brain how you call it made up. That's how it made up. Anything you say, as soon as you say George Weah, it enter in them like to say you just say something negative to their to somebody that close up. Man, they put value George Weah even more than God. Even more than God. They value the girl for George Weah even more. I'm telling you, I can see the expression for somebody to say a common citizen. People holding press conference. People saying that people going on air. Threatening the vice president that he come for even when George Weah go play football, when he scratch his head, they will go for the president to tell you how delusional our people are, to tell you how low money they are. They just sit. All of them want to say they're looking at vote work on. But one person said they all of them
Nelson,
follow.
you can't allow Mobile to go on and be insulting people on this
I'm
platform.
not nobody.
Cutting
I'm
short.
not
Let's
doing my
go.
opening. I do my opening.
Yeah, you can't say delusional. You can't call for delusional, my man.
Because that's how that man is, bro.
Let's give
The
our
people
brother
are so angry to the extent that when you say job, we are not eating today. They get your flesh.
So Mobile, you have
Don't go
20
worship job, we are and then forget about
20
God.
seconds. You have 20 seconds.
Let me conclude. Let me conclude, Nelson. All in all, I believe that some of them have George we are in our houses. That hey, man, that picture in the morning, they bow down to it instead of worship God. Because the only thing that God, I'm telling you, Nelson, I'm saying my own, let us say that. That's it. Not for me, you don't worship your friend, man, worship God.
To what extent
I want to hold you there.
I'm serious, Nelson.
Thanks a lot.
People can go as far as want to, they want to kill somebody because of job we are.
Nelson, you'll be
To tell
surprised.
you how our people mind are made up.
Listen, Mobile.
I can only protect God. I want God said, don't protect me. I'm a God. You can protect God. God protect himself. He bless you.
Mama is okay. It's
but
okay.
people worshiping human being like God. To tell you how our brain is, man, Nelson. That is complete. Yeah, it's not what you say, but that's it. How our country and how our country will keep.
Mama, I had to mute you. Sorry, I had to mute you. Listen, we operating in time here, Mama. When I say thank you, that thank you ain't me. I agree with what you're saying. I'm simply trying to tell you your time is up.
I say you agree with my man.
So,
I can't put you situation. You can't handle. I'm done. I'm done.
Not only we are telling you to preach, but guys, it's gonna be a great conversation tonight. We will start the conversation with this simple citizen, common citizen, big citizen, small citizen, person non grata. I want us to start a conversation from here. And then we're going to go to the other issues tonight. But the reason why it's important to have this conversation is for us on here to be able to provide some pieces of information, at least to be able to educate some of the people who are listening to the radio tonight or watching the TV tonight, to make some analysis around this particular issue that will inform a lot of the people who watch this show. Guys, the president goes to the US. The vice president goes to the US. After his town hall engagement, he has a one-on-one interview. During the one-on-one interview, the vice president is asked about the situation, his own relationship with the former president, especially when it's visible, it's notable that there was a situation wherein he was at the program, Senator Johnson's funeral, and the former president went there. In the process, the whole shaking hand thing, it didn't work out, and stuff like that. So, but how is the relationship now? And then he goes on to say, first of all, I'm not supposed to go to any program to wait for former President George Weah. He's supposed to wait for me because he's a common citizen. And, when we need to get to a point where we will get over this whole thing. You were president before. We respected you. We gave you all due courtesy. Now I'm president. You got to respect me. And then the conversation started from there. I want us to take just 2 minutes each across the table, us on set here, to make some analysis around this particular statement. Again, I will ask the question, who is a common citizen? What was the context in which, was he speaking in context in the first place? What was the context? Was the statement timely? Was it appropriate? Was there a better way the VP could have put this particular thing? Did it in any way did it help the situation? Was the response put the right way? So I want us to start the conversation from here. But before doing that, let me play this video again. We're going to start the conversation with Josh.
Very common citizen of one president. When I'm driving, going to one president, we are packed. Very common citizen of one president. When I'm driving, going to one president, we are packed.
I want us to start the conversation here. I'm going to play the video in bits and pieces. Josh, what do you make of that statement? We're not going to the CDC part here. We're not going to what the Youth League said, declaring him persona non grata. No, we're not getting there yet. Let's start the conversation from here, Josh. Let's do 1 minute 30 seconds around this particular issue.
So Nelson, it's no surprise. Car is a problem for this administration. Nelson, if you can, reflect, you realize that in this administration, car has caused people to lose their job, caused many people to lose their jobs, right? And they are so obsessed with cars. They asked the vice president, "What is your relationship with former President Weah?" He went to car. He will park a car. I will park my car. He said he was a park car. He is a park car. President Waka said he was a park car for 12 years. These guys are obsessed with car. But here's what I want to say to this, Nelson. There is a way for a leader to speak. If you ask President Weah today, what is your relationship with Kun? He will not say Kun is just a little boy. He will say Kun is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia.
But George, do you remember that interview when former President George Weah said, Kun is my little brother. In fact, in tradition, he didn't want to also come to me, but you see me, you standing, then you expect me to. Do you remember
Nelson,
that interview?
That was in context, Nelson.
What was the context?
Is they didn't ask him for listen.
But George, before going to the context, sorry, yeah, I will hear your here to next more, George. Before going to the context, you just said that if former President George Weah was the one to be asked this question, you would have said, you would not have gone to say Jeremiah Kun is my little brother. No, you would have gone to the issue. You would have said that we good, we okay, or we not good. But
I didn't finish what I was saying. You just jumped into it. So go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
I would say honor, the right circumstances, right? If you ask President Weah, what is your relationship? Next thing, people learn to answer questions in the way they are asked the question. What is your relationship? It's either good or it's bad. You cannot say he's just a citizen, just a common citizen, Nelson. That's not a response to the question. That means this guy is set up to denigrate his fellow or the person speaking. You can see what you're doing, finger. He's just a common citizen. You know what I mean? He will park a car. You know what I mean? I don't understand why people are so arrogant, Nelson.
Nelson, I think you should play the whole thing.
If you place Kun and President Weah together on the road today, the little child in Liberia will recognize President Weah than Kun. So I don't know. He's trying to, project himself above President Weah. I don't know what he's trying to do. But Nelson, I want to come to make this man to understand today the only reason he's vice president is because of Nimba. Let him tell the Nimba people thank you. Because it's only because Waka was very was Abu or desperate for power. He decided to choose him only because he wanted to vote for Nimba. So if you tell the people thank you, he's not popular, he's nobody in Liberia, nobody knows him. If you place President Weah side by side with him, he will never be recognized. So Nelson, that's what I want to say. Say you say the time is brief. I just want to say that quickly.
I mean, when the 4 minutes, I didn't 1 minute.
Thanks a lot for your input on this one. I'm going to at some point play a very good portion of this interview. I'm going to at some point play a good portion of this interview, but let's hear from you on this one, Rudolph. Let's hear your take.
So Nelson, I mean, you just listened to George. He just called the vice president a nobody. I think he should take back that statement because that is just being, I mean, a bit too presumptuous, I would say. But I mean, I know George will not because he's a seditious and he feels like Mr. Weah was disrespected, so he will do the same. But here is the Nelson. I want to believe that that statement from the vice president was also in response to the incident that happened in Nimba and to the interview that Mr. Weah did. Right, just like what George is saying. Oh, what Mr. Weah said was in context. I want to believe that that was the same context that the vice president was speaking to when he was asked. Because Mr. Weah saying that he's supposed to go speak to him and stuff, that was, I mean, and like, so within that same context, if you ask the vice president what is going on, he would, and we all saw he extended a hand to former president, and they didn't shake his hand. That was disrespectfulness in every aspect. In as much as I don't agree with him calling Mr. Weah a common citizen, because I mean, when you look at the word common citizen, it's like someone who doesn't have any privileges, who is not from any class and doesn't enjoy any kind of like national privilege, which Mr. Weah does, because he still have state security and stuff like that. He still have people protecting him, and to a certain extent, he still enjoys that title as the former president. So I don't think he's a common person, but he is a private citizen, and he and the vice president, they are not on the same level anymore. I feel like it is just, again, shared arrogance that is stopping Mr. Weah from being humble enough to understand that the coon he once knew, the boy who he once knew, is now a vice president. We all in life, we have to be humble enough at a certain point in time. Even our best friends, when they excel to a certain level, we have to be humble enough to respect them as per that level that they have excelled to. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Morba, you want to come in?
Yeah,
Your
thank you,
take on the
Nelson.
statement firstly.
Yeah. Thank you. And before I go to that statement, look, Nelson, I listened to my brother George say, Jeremiah Kpankun, which is the vice president, is nothing in Liberia, but he won 2 elections in the representative, and then he was also a senator before he became a vice president. So it's not just happening overnight. He went from nowhere to be where he is today. So when we're speaking, like when we talking that other thing. But let me go to the statement, Nelson. Look, I see nothing wrong to me. I see nothing wrong with that statement. To tell us, the president, George, I need to understand that I'm a vice president now. He's just a common citizen. So that would define common citizen now. So common citizen are people who that Zogo. Me now, my question I want to ask that Zogo ne, or maybe like my brother Ruda, they say because George we are having privilege and other stuff. So we need no more common citizen. So maybe on that aspect, we can debate that aspect for another day. But for you to say what George Weah said, he said in context. But the one that the vice president said, it was not in context. Then what? Then where are we going? So it means that you guys are biased from the CDC. You only believe in George Weah. You don't believe in reality. That's why I always tell people, we bring this government in power, when we see wrong, we say it. When we see things that are going on negatively, we say it. But when George Weah was in power, we saw majority of the seditions, everything was going down. So to tell you how the people are made up, Nelson, we'll go up, we come down, we go up, we come down, we say anything that man are made up. They will always say Jeremiah Kpankun in the wrong. First of all, they don't start threatening him, they want to kill him now. Then we'll come here, we say, oh, they will turn a convoy, they will see people making statements. Which I want for somebody to come on the show and tell me which one of the country you can go on public radio and say, I will stone the vice president car, let him try it, let him do that, but he will see. Tell the lie. I won't see it. Only in Liberia can happen because everything is politics. So Nelson, the vice president was not in the wrong. I will say it today, I will say it tomorrow. He gave the response that George Weah said, like my brother Buddha said. That was a response to what George Weah said. And before that, let me close on this. I listened to, I think one of the recording when George Weah called the president, the sitting president, that old man and his people, they are all criminals. He's talking to a sitting president. He's saying that on radio, on recording. Then we'll come here, we say, oh, George Weah did. Well, somebody say George Weah common citizen. And they're looking at us, say they call somebody half in their chest. That's completely wrong. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Morba, for your take on this issue. Now, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff up here. Based on this particular statement, the Youth League had a press conference today, and they declared the vice president a persona non grata. Now, in other words, they're saying that, you know, the vice president is it is unacceptable
and unwelcomed. Yep.
He's unwelcomed, and in fact, he's not going to be tolerated.
Even they were even wrong. The context was wrong.
You know, I want us to make some analysis around here. Does declaring the vice president a persona non grata change anything? Was the press conference, was the statement timely in the first place? Was it okay for the young people to say, look, you did, are we seeing a comeback? You know, maybe the Youth League trying to get back at the vice president based on, you know, everything that happened. I mean, was it timely? I want us to start here with Josh, and then we will go around the table on this one. Josh, what do you make of the CDC Youth League statement today? You are muted, Josh. Okay.
I'm not a youth, as you can see. I was not in the mind of the secretariat, you know, that came up with that press conference. But what I want to say is that I condemn what Vice President Kun said. What he said was meant to denigrate. What he said was meant to humiliate. What he said was meant to degrade former President Weah. That is not acceptable to me. And I think whoever condemns it, I stand with them. It was ridiculous. This man who wants to be a leader in our country needs to be a man of peace, a man who will bring people together, than to try to denigrate another person. I think he just created a whole lot of resentment for himself in the country. He wasn't even popular in the country anyway. The only place people talk about he winning elections is in Nimba. And I said it from the beginning. I said, you should tell the Nimba people thank you, because nobody knew your Kun. And even before the election, nobody ever thought of Kun to be vice president. But because of the vote race Nimba, that's why he became who he is. So you should stop going around and trying to denigrate others, Nelson. I think the Youth League, in their own wisdom, decided to have a press conference. But if I were there, I would just write a press statement, because we're not going to elevate this vice president who is a non-entity in our Liberian politics.
Come on, Josh.
Yeah.
No.
To elevate into a press conference. I don't think we should have done that.
Josh, the vice president is the sitting vice president of the Republic of Liberia. We may have disagreements with issues, but let's respect the office.
So now you agree.
It's not about VP Jeremiah Kun at the moment.
I just said that to get a reaction. You now agree that by me talking to the vice president as a non-entity or nobody, just like you said, President, we have nobody. It creates a reaction from you that a vice president cannot be nobody. That's what I'm telling you. That's why you should agree with me that somebody referring to.
I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to agree with anybody on the show.
But we haven't talked about any public office, my brother.
I mean, wait, Rudolph, you come in. So Nelson, here's the thing. I said those words strategically to get a reaction. And for that reaction, it was positive, right? From my standpoint, because nobody should be allowed for somebody who has been a leader, even a former senator, to call them nobody. That person is somebody. Nelson, even listen, recently we saw all of the embassy, the European embassy, and all these people went to see President Weah at his office in his place. They went there and had a meeting yesterday again. People from Nigeria, Ghanaian, they had to call it, all these parliamentarians, they went to see President Weah at his office in his residence. So Nelson, you cannot look at such person and say they are nobody, Nelson. And that's what I just did. I did that, and there was a reaction directly from you guys.
Josh, does the vice
was-
president is it the right kind of comparison here you're trying to make? The vice president saying, "My man, you common citizen,"
yeah,
and another person maybe from down there telling the president that you're a common citizen. I mean, can we compare the two?
Nelson, that's what the problem is, Nelson. If anybody like you and myself can say the president is a common citizen, nobody will have a press conference from you, Nelson. But the office that this man holds, the vice president, whatever he says should be taken important, because people listen to him because he has a platform now. Not that he personally is or some more educated or popular person, but because of the office he holds, anything he says will
was
be
it
taken
necessary for the youth league to have a press conference to declare the vice president persona non grata and all of that? Was that even necessary? Is that going to change anything?
Nelson, that's what I said. I say if I were part of the youth secretariat, I wouldn't even have a press conference from Kun, because Kun is just going to elevate him more. Because we're just going to release a press statement.
You elevate the vice president.
You're going to
You mean the youth league?
Elevate him more.
The youth league will elevate the vice president.
Elevating, yeah. Because of
I want to understand.
The statement he made in America.
Elevate somebody, you must be at a particular level. So you mean the youth league will elevate the vice president by having the press conference?
Yes. So that means they will make Nelson. Now he has become. Since we've been having this spoon talk, have we ever said anything about the vice president operation? Have we ever mentioned him on this platform more than 2 times? We have never had any show that considered this vice president. Now, because the youth league has had a press conference about him, we are talking about him now. When last did we talk about vice president on the platform, Nelson? Never. Since I've been part of this platform for almost 2 years now, we have never talked about the vice president. The youth league has elevated this man, and we are talking about him now. That's the elevation I'm talking about.
Rudolph, I want you to come in quickly on this one. What do you make of the statement from the youth league today? The CDC.
So, Nelson, that is a good example of youthful exuberance coupled with what I call confident ignorance. Because if you even just look at the word persona non grata, that is mostly associated with diplomacy, wherein a foreign diplomat is asked by the host country to be recalled to their home country. And if that home country does not honor that message to recall that person, then the host country does not recognize that person anymore as a diplomat. That is what is mostly associated with, right? So for us to see this group, even trying to use that word, like use that on the certain vice president of a country, Nelson, it doesn't make sense to me. How can you unwelcome Kun from Liberia when he is the vice president? Like, what are you even saying? I feel like this press statement doesn't even hold value for us to even talk about it. Honestly, that's what I think. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Mara, you want to come in? Your take on this just before we transition.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, during my opening, I said a lot of things, and Josh, that proved me right. Everything about George Weah is gold, but everything about other people is nothing. And if we want to change our country, we need to be real to ourselves. Look, the statement from those guys, look, we already know those guys to be a disgruntled human being. We know that. It's not something that we don't know. There are people who talk here, stay on the street. There are people who take clothes and paint it and walk away on the street of Morovia. They are not different people we are talking about here, Nelson. So if they say things like that, it don't move us. It don't move. It's just like you take a rock and throw it in the middle of the water. It will stay where it is. It will not move because it get wet. That's how they look. They all have the same mind, the same brain. They say what they say, and all of them follow. That's how that's that behavior. You're looking at a certain vast precedent, and you're talking about you can go certain places. When you go to other places, there are certain places you will not go. There are certain areas here convoking pass or certain vast precedent of the Republic of Liberia. And then people talking say he don't even have population. Why would we say that? Of a certain vast precedent? A certain vast precedent? Jesus Christ. A certain vast precedent for the Republic of Liberia? They talking about popularity? They say vast precedent, they say popular. They say they may not even popular. Nobody know the man in the country. How he became a vast precedent? So when the people went to the ballot box to vote, so Jeremiah Kun picture was not there for them to say, oh, this is Jeremiah Kun. They were not there doing the campaign. They didn't see him. They didn't know him. To tell you, seditions, they already make up their mind. Just for the sitting vice president to say, common citizen. Next thing, there are a lot of threats coming out. There are a lot of things people saying. And they've been keeping it in their mind. And that is security be a light. They shouldn't sit and just say, okay, you know what? They think the people thought that they're fiasco. No. God, so when you are listening to him, he said a lot of things. He said a lot of things that allow the security apparatus, they sort of come out and say something. They sort of condemn his statement and also call him for caution. And he said he's a lawyer. A lawyer making a type of sarcastic statement. And we look at it and when we hear him, because somebody just said common citizen to job we are. What a big deal in what somebody call you a common citizen. What thing in that thing? For you to go as far as threatening somebody's life, talking their convoy, calling their names, telling them say they can go certain places, you will chase them out. Then look, nothing to tell you, our country, we still get people there who still thinking about war. I'm telling you, we still get people who still thinking that Liberia only for them will add then. If it is not then, it shouldn't be nobody. That's it. That's the mind our people get now. People who support George Weah. That's the mind they get. If it is not George Weah, it shouldn't be nobody. If anybody even tell George Weah say in the morning, George Weah not eat today, why you eat it? That problem. George Weah go play football in here himself, that problem. Only Liberian people. Anybody that
Nelson, why are we still listening to Moba?
My man, you talking, I never talk. I sat down here, you talk, I muted myself, you talk until
George,
you
you
were
have to be tolerant enough, my man.
Let me say what I want to say, please.
We will not know the next day what will happen to the common man. If it goes to the brother, PSP, invisible one. You need to resolve. We are. What will happen to that common man? If a powerful man who resides over state resources gets off. A man who resides over the Liberian Senate will declare a former president common man. We don't know. That's what for all you people across the 17 electoral districts and the 15 sub-political divisions of Liberia to politically get activated and reactivated and calibrated and recalibrated. Sure. We ask you that you will begin to rise and rise. You will begin to rise and rise. Wherever you see the political leader of Christians, all young people, you are under the inherent revolutionary mandate to protect this movement. Your grandfather begin to protect President. We are your grandfather begin at
You know, and this is it. I just thought to have us in there, as we transition
But
on this.
I gotta do my closing, Nelson. Just call me up.
Okay, take 20 seconds to close, please.
Yeah, I never close, Nelson. Thank you. Look, I think the Liberian people understand. To tell you that 2029, although 2029 not reach it, they're trying to campaign, trying to make the government look ugly. We not say everything in this government is bread and butter. No. When we see the wrong, we say it. We see corruption, we say we expose those corruption and other entities. But as long as some are alive, Georgia will never come out of power. Because what are we looking at today? When Georgia come out of power 2029, people will start losing the same way. The same way people lost during his regime. That's what will be happening. People start escaping the country. In
Thank you,
la
brother.
challenge. 30 seconds. In la challenge.
No, you guys
President Nimba took power. Who? And that's it. What you say?
Yeah.
Nobody escaped. No, everybody stay in the country. They say what they want to say.
Thank you. Let's hold you there, Mobile. Let's hold you there, and make a quick transition. Now, we saw the suspension of Representative Yeka Kolba the other day, and today, additional lawmakers were suspended, including Honorable Kofa. But what was the basis of the suspension? What was the background? Why did they take the action? There was a communication sent to Honorable Muka Kamara, and I want to read this communication here. I extend my compliments and by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in session, inform you that in accordance with Rule 21.1 of the House's Rule and Procedures, which states no House member shall stay away from session without the expressed approval of the House for a period of more than 2 weeks. For a period less than 2 weeks, permission may be sought from the Speaker. Violators shall be penalized in a manner deemed appropriate by the leadership of the House in consultation with plenary. Now we go back to the communication. It says it has come to our attention that you have been absent from 5 sessions or sitting as of March 11, 2025, without providing any verbal or written excuse to plenary. This absence amounts to 2.5 weeks, constituting a violation of the aforementioned rule. In this light, the House of Representatives has invoked Rule 48.7c, which states the House may, according to the circumstances and degree of the breach, suspend a member for no more than 30 days of meeting and stop the payment and salaries and allowances due to them for the duration of the suspension. Accordingly, you are hereby suspended for a period of 30 meeting days, effective as of the date of this communication. As a result, all benefits and privileges previously afforded you are hereby suspended until the suspension is lifted. This is a communication that was sent to one of the lawmakers, Honorable Muka Kamara. And there are so many of them, including Honorable Kofa. They were all suspended today. Now, but going back to this whole thing here, now we need not to mention that there has been some back and forth there at the House of Representatives, which all of you are aware of. But why have the guys been staying away? The likes of Representative Yeka Kolba, the likes of Honorable Kofa, the likes of Honorable Muka Kamara, and then some of those lawmakers, they stay back because, according to them, the gathering or the sitting of the majority black was illegal. And so that was the reason for their stay away. But with the latest action, what does it say? What does this mean for this entire fight we've seen over the time? I want us to take maybe 1 minute each on this particular one, and then we can transition. Josh, you want to weigh in your thoughts on this one?
Nelson, I think the majority bloc or the renegade lawmakers are still digging a pit for themselves. Nelson, if I were these guys, I would slow down. But I think, they say when Morgan coming die, again, yeah, whistle. That's the problem. So the thing is that these guys will continue to make all these issues for themselves. And like I just read the headlines on Front Page Africa for tomorrow. It says many people, including John Balu, has joined the criticism of the Supreme Court for providing an unclear verdict on the on the case that was submitted to them, and also failing, to hear the bit of information that was filed by the minority bloc. And these people have agreed they are going to to grant the hearing on the bill on whatever request was submitted to them for information. So Nelson, these guys, and I think they are being buoyant. The English people say buoyant. They are being buoyant by President Boakai, because what they are doing, they just sent for people from Ghana, pay all that money to bring them for reconciliation, and in that same token, they are suspending other people. What is the spirit of reconciliation there now, when you have Ghanaian parliamentarians in the country that are there to settle the dispute between them, but they are
No,
suspending their friends?
And that's a great point you're making there. The parliament is here.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the same parliament that came to the country some time back. The parliament did not get a result. Mm-hmm. This is the same parliament, not necessarily but the ECOWAS parliament came
Mm-hmm.
to the country. They didn't get the result they wanted until they left from the country.
Mm-hmm.
Then this body made their decision, removed some people, elected new people, sent the listing to ECOWAS parliament. That parliament refused it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now here we are, we're talking about the Ghanaian parliament in the country for reconciliation. Mm-hmm. But in the midst of the reconciliation, if you read the communication again, Josh, the reason for the suspension is the absence of those lawmakers from session. And they're saying that it's a violation of their rules. Josh, should we give a blind eye, or should the majority bloc or the House of Representatives give a blind eye to a violation of their rule in the name of reconciliation? Is it not going to be a breach of the law only because you want peace? Does that give lasting peace in the first place?
Nothing. Do you think there is peace in the House? You think what they are calling for reconciliation because there is no reconciliation in the House? It is not normal. That's not how they are run. So if you are creating a dispensation for reconciliation that no parliamentary sitting should require, if you are doing that, that's special measures that you are requesting for. There should be also special measure extended, because you know that you are not together. That's what you are asking for, people to come and put it together. So why should you ask for people to come and put it together? Which is not required. But because of that, because of the problem, because of the capacity of the problem you have, you cannot settle it by yourself. That's why you're calling for external help. You can't be calling for external help, then at the same time suspending other people, Nelson. I think it's uncalled for. If that means they have to suspend their rules to even allow for reconciliation. It's not part of their rules that they'll have reconciliation in March of every year. No. It's because they are not together. Things are not normal. That's why they are calling for this. So if they are calling for this,
are you
that means
saying
rule is suspended.
The rule should be suspended at the House of Representatives,
yes,
regardless who comes to session or not. But should payments be suspended too, if the rules are suspended?
No, you can't say payment, Nelson. That's not what it is. You can't say payment should be suspended, Nelson. If you're a landlord and you have problem, it doesn't mean that you're not paying your rent, Nelson. Payment is completely different. What we're talking about is the decorum in the house. So if you're not having a perfect decorum, there should be a special measures put in place to make sure that everybody comes together to talk. So if you can't be calling people to say, "Mama, you can't, let's talk." They think they will do it, not correct. Let's can't talk. Then they say we suspend you because you're not can. No, for me, it's uncalled for, Nelson. It's ridiculous, and these people need to come to themselves, because if at all, that's what is happening. It is to revert national crisis. The Supreme Court must give a clear ruling, because this whole thing, Nelson, that we are playing with, it has a propensity to put our country back into the dark days. Because when people are unsatisfied, it grows anger. And when people are angry, Nelson, they can do things before they can, they try to think. So we
Thank you.
cannot push people to the wall. They say when you push somebody to the wall until the back hit the wall, they cannot go any further, but it will come back to you. So they can't push their friends like this. I think it's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. They need to rethink that decision. Thank you, Nelson.
Moba, you want to come in quickly?
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, regard to that, look, I think the House of Representatives, to me, in my own opinion, much we all understand what happened, like the minority not agree to the majority and they will not sit under them. And it makes me a lot of session as well. Look, but Nelson, I think we all know that if you don't work, you don't get paid. So you think for all the minority black who staying away from session, what the bill or what they're doing to help their districts? What are they doing? Or because they say because Fonadi Kofana elect, a removal was illegal, so they want to stand by the rules. So they're trying to tell us that they believe in Fonati Kofa more than their own districts. Because imagine nursing, if you don't work, let's be frank. The people say we all came here, we said it, we'll be running the thing, we'll hold the thing, we'll pull the thing, we'll do the one. The same people will say anything that happen in our house is political. You go, you cannot, while you agree, not agree, they stand their ground. So if you don't go to work, how will you get paid? And you're getting paid through the taxpayer money, you're not getting paid to sit at home. They put rule into, I think, 21.1 something. If you read that rules, they say if you sit, if you don't go for sitting for certain days, they get a right to suspend you. If you're taking that day off, you should bring a what? You should bring a note to say, or you
there should be a communication to
communication. Very good. So
that's rule 21.1.
Very good. Thank you. I just quoting it from my head. Thank you for quoting the last one. But end of the day, nursing, we all want the best for Liberia. So all the representatives who just sitting, they say they won't get paid, they won't work, but they must pay them. They say the same people that say the speaker is illegal. The entire majority of blacks illegal. Why would you want to get paid? If you do the Liberian people work, your work is to go to session, make a debate on bills, talk other things, and make a good concession for the country so your district can benefit. But if you sit home, how will you know what's going on in the country? How will you know what kind of bill has been passed? How will you know what kind of concession they are discussing? But you want to get paid by sitting home because you want to please only one man, which is Fonati Kofa. You're all stay together. So I think Nelson, in my own mind, we came here, we beat on Richard Kunde. That thing should be over a long time. We would not come here and pull and haul. Let them suspend them. If possible, let them expel them. Then different people come, or let them be dragging them onto the court.
But Mama, in the midst of this let's say suspension thing that's happening, Honorable Kofa is enlisted as well for suspension. Now remember, this is the man at the center stage of the whole thing here. If reconciliation, whatever should happen at the House of Representatives, he's going to be one of those persons that, should be at the table of that conversation.
Yeah, Nelson. The former speaker, right, Mr. Representative Kuno, he lost the battle. The people not seeing no more as a representative. As a speaker rather. So what he need to do?
Who lost the battle?
Kun, the former speaker Kun, right? He lost the battle. Kofa rather. I'm sorry, Kofa. Speaker Kofa. Fonati Kofa lost the battle. All he need to do, then he negotiate. Let it look. If you want to you know how long Lord Nelson will come here, will beat on the president, will beat on the poll. You know how long the people fight to face the identical matter? The people say no. People from the CDC who think that they want to disabilize the government, they backing him. They say no, don't do it. When you do it away, they will be forced to do the one. And the poor another black said no. So let that be fair. It is. if they can go to common ground or they can settle their dispute, Nelson, I believe that the current speaker, Richard Kuhn, should be there, and any action they take, anything they take, it should be. The only thing I would say, it should be confined with the law. That's it. Like what you just said, the 21.1 something. Let that go by it, because no one go to session. How will they get paid? You go to session for 20 some of days, then you say you won't get paid, then you say the people will not suspend you. Are you bringing no proper excuse with no document that say maybe you're sick or you go for treatment or you probably you travel? No, it's not how we run Liberia. If we must run Liberia, let everybody go to work. Go to work, you get paid. In every country, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Except you're using your pay time. That's different. But as long as session time, you go to work. You can't go. You say, oh, because they may not speak up, fanatic covenant speaker, so you can't agree to go to session. So I think nursing it is wrong, and I believe that the action those people take, I respect it and I support their action. That's it. And
thank you.
They should even add, I know I know they already suspend as well. They should add the people who not go to work. That's
suspended as well. Okay. I want us to end up on this conversation here. I'm talking about the Supreme Court. Now, most of you are aware that the Supreme Court is expected to interpret its ruling today. In Liberia is already the 14th of March, Friday. What do you foresee here, Josh? What do you think is going to happen here? Given everything that's played out over the time, a lot of people beating on the Supreme Court for coming up with an ambiguous, ruling that has left a lot of people, in fact, the both sides thinking that they won, while others. I mean, what do you think is going to happen here, Josh?
Nelson, look, I, for one, from the beginning, when I was listening to the ruling, I knew that something had gone wrong, Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
No court will give you a ruling that will have multiple interpretation or court ruling, because let me tell you, it's very simple. Even those that write, when you're writing, you write because you will not be there to explain to the person what you wanted to say. So you have to be explicit. So in legal areas, right, they write their verdicts so clear that even if you're sleeping, they will tell you, therefore, guilty as charged or not guilty. That's it, right? There's one way or the other. If you took a matter to the court to be decided, right, they will give you a clear verdict, whether you're wrong or the person is right, right? This ruling was vague, ambiguous, just like you said, Nelson. And that's what I thought, that these people were hiding something. They didn't want to anger President Boakai because President Boakai was the one behind this thing. They didn't want to anger anyone. They didn't want to make sure that they were going to be facing any backlash from the public. So they just gave something out just so that they would leave them alone. But guess what? What they did created more problem. Now it's time for them to come and correct all that nonsense they did, Nelson. They have to come up, and I know within myself, Nelson, that the ruling will be for the minority bloc.
Thank you.
Because even from what they wrote in that first ruling was something that you could easily see that whoever took decision was antivirus. That means the minority bloc did not take any action. They did not move their sitting. They did not move speaker office. They did not move anything. Nelson, the only people that moved their sitting and went and started making decisions were the majority bloc. So this thing is going to be against the majority bloc. And I hope that Kuhn is willing to go and sit again as a representative, on a chair for this matter to be decided.
What happens if this ruling doesn't go the way of the majority bloc?
Nelson, it's okay.
If it doesn't go the way of the minority bloc.
For me, look, Nelson, we are tired fighting President Boakai to do the right thing. If at all the judiciary, that is another branch of government, going to join him to disrespect our laws, Nelson, we agree. 6 years is not long, Nelson. We're already gone almost 2 now. 4 more remaining, Nelson. The last time I checked is 1,300 and few other days left to reach 2029, Nelson. So we just agree, we accept it and move on, Nelson. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to go because there's nowhere else we can go. We're not going to ECOWAS code because this president is noted. But even though he said the rule of law was very cardinal to his reign, he is known for disrespecting the Supreme Court. He known for disrespecting even the ECOWAS code. So Nelson, there's no way we're going to go. There's nowhere we're going to go. But just to go and go about our normal business and just wait for election day.
Are you saying that if this ruling or this decision, the interpretation of the Supreme Court ruling that is expected to happen later today, if it doesn't go the way of the minority bloc, the best thing is for them to just forget it?
Forget it, yeah. Forget it. Because Nelson, our people have suffered too long for us to put them into true crisis again, Nelson. There's no way, no one is inclined to creating havoc in our country. We are not up for it. All we want is the right thing to be done. But if President Boakai refuses to do the right thing, Nelson, he is the president. We just let it go and move on with our lives. Because we know that everyone will see by now that this whole system was just built as it is built. It was built to go against the people who are not in power. President Boakai has come to power and he's continuing to do that. So it's okay.
Let's hear you more about on this. What do you make of the Supreme Court's interpretation pending?
Look, Nelson, we all understand that the Supreme Court, the last time they said what they could say.
Who do you think is going to walk away? But Nelson, the thing here is one of the three things could happen. Number one, the majority bloc, the interpretation could go in favor of the majority bloc. Number two, the interpretation could go in favor of the minority bloc. Or number three, the interpretation could leave the both parties hanging again. Everybody goes celebrating that they won again. What do you think is going to happen here, Moba?
I believe that the Supreme Court shouldn't interfere in the matter of the representative, actually, in the House of Representatives. They shouldn't interfere. I believe that let them just watch them, what they call them, and probably maybe they can settle it with both ways, probably in the sense that, okay, you know what, majority, you have many minority, you have many, okay. You know what? You forget about the thing. As soon as the president, let it call the case.
No.
But Nelson, it will be hard. I come to that point.
You forget it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So anything.
Somebody going to say forget it and right here,
Yeah, but Nelson. But anything the Supreme Court would say should be in conform with their law and the law of the 1986 Constitution as well.
And Mama, that's why I'm asking. Given all that we've seen play out over the time, who do you think is going to walk away as winner in this whole thing? Who do you, is it going to go the way of the majority bloc, the minority bloc, or are the both parties going to be stuck in the middle again?
We don't know. We don't know if they come and call another name again after Arnold virus. Maybe they'll call another one again. We don't know. But look, I believe that my own thinking. I believe that. Look, Nelson, the Supreme Court will just tell and say they don't want to interfere. To my thinking.
Thank you.
That's what I believe. But I think they will call any star say, you'll do the way you do. Maybe they'll just call another word. The same way they call the other word for autovirus. So that's it.
Okay, so I want us to end here on this one. The heat in Nimba County is on. The election situation is getting tense. And everyone is in the field trying to gather the votes. The godfather of Nimba County is no more. The man who will lift the hands of people in the county and they become leaders, the man is no more. His seat is vacant. Who's going to be the next godfather? Now, in ranking, aside from Senator Prince Johnson, the late, one person a lot of people will be looking at is Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn from the county. But this is what the CMC on the Musa Hassan Belete had to say.
You are vice president for this country. You are our own president. We want to respect you. We want to keep you elevated at that level. But if you try to come here and Samuel Koga to force our people to vote for him, believe me, we will march you wall by wall.
We don't want to do that. That's not in our culture. Stay out of this election. Stay out. This is not about you. There is a wrong notion that if Mark Miller becomes senator, how does that have any impact on the vice president of Liberia? How? It doesn't. Whether Koga wins or not, it has no impact on you. You're not supposed to. Whoever that is advising you to be Koga campaign manager, stop it.
This is the CMC one speaking. Honorable Musa Hassan Benete, the chairperson of the Rule of Law Caucus. But and he's sending a caveat to the vice president. Stay out. Leave our senatorial thing. Leave us to fight amongst ourselves. If you try and get there, we'll go after you. But Mama and Josh, is this possible for the vice president, being the vice president he is, coming from the county, as one of those who turn out to be the success stories of the late Senator Prince Johnson? Is it possible for him to stay out? This is something we've seen with former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and other leaders. They will lift people's hands up and say, "This is the person I believe can deliver." Even the person whose seat is vacant now, Senator Prince Johnson, that's what he did over that. That's exactly what he did over the years. Is it possible for us to get the vice president to stay off the Nimba politics? If he did so, would that be a good thing to do? Mama, what do you think?
Look, Nelson, I would say this, right? I think the representative, Benete, he is in error. The reason I say this, remember, the vice president have a political party, right? If even he resigned from that party, but he still have a connection to that party, and that party running, which is Samuel Koga on the MD something.
MDR.
MDR, very good, thank you. But then you will not tell them. And first of all, the vice president is not a campaign manager for Koga. Let's make that clear. Supporting somebody doesn't make it to be the campaign manager for them.
No, but he could be speaking in context. Campaign manager has been lifting the person's hand up to say, "This is the person I'm
no,
pleased.
that one is endorsing.
I'm willing to work with this man. I want you guys to vote for the man."
That endorsement. That's not campaign manager. So that content is out of place. Like that say, you shouldn't say when you say you shouldn't endorse Koga, then we'll say, "Oh yeah." But when you say campaign, the vice president come and be a judge, go campaign for somebody. All he will do, he will endorse the man, because that first of all, the vice president need to endorse somebody so we can know his strength in Nimba County. He ain't come and say that and say because Benete talk, Musa Hassan Benete talk, so you should forget about it. No, Musa Hassan Benete is a representative for the same Nimba County, one of the district. Now he carries somebody to be a senator. Let him run his own campaign. He shouldn't attack somebody. So I think he thought Nelson it was wrong from him. You can't tell anybody what are the president or the vice. First of all, Musa Hassan Benete not somebody like you can rely on. There is no way in a war Musa Hassan Benete will support Jeremiah Kun even to say tomorrow election. He would never support Unity Party. It happened they going election. The two things he never support Unity Party. He not supported Joseph Baga. He not supported. He supported the first candidate. The first party. It was Alexander Kumi, the ANC. From there, CPP. So you see it. So there's no way. So all the things he talking, saying this, saying that, there's no way will even shake Jeremiah Kun, because at the end of the day, he will never support Jeremiah Kun. Even if Jeremiah Kun say, I want to put my hand in the election. Let me just say that, relax myself. Look, Musa Hassan Benete will never ever campaign for as long as George we are in the race, as long he get some maybe if Alexander Kumi or if he stay behind Alexander Kumi, but end of the day his loyalty will go to George Weah. So you not tell the vice president to not campaign who you want to campaign for, who you think will help him, even if tomorrow election that will stand for him and run his campaign. So Nelson, I think to my own understanding, what he was in error. And you shouldn't say everybody get it right to do whatsoever they want to do as a citizen.
When he said he will go after the vice president,
not like politically
we
in discussing
go
that.
after you 2029. Yes, and that's exactly.
But how will
what
you
we're saying.
go? How will you go after somebody when you never supported them? Two other journey. You want to go after somebody when you already have supported them. Then they win an election. Then you say, I made you to win the election. And if you go against me, you see. But you never did. All through your life, you were for George Weah. And you said it yourself. So why the essence that the vice president now, what kind of political strength you get compared to Kun in Nimba County? Don't try it. You're not. We all know you're not getting strength compared to Kun in Nimba. Let's leave that one. That one that is fat right there. Everybody know that.
Let me hold you there, Moba. Thanks a lot. I think we should go to the phone lines and take some calls tonight. 0555-101075. We come back. We do our closing. 0555-101075. I'll put the WhatsApp number up as well in case you want to make a point through WhatsApp. You can do so. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. I'm Nelson Colette, Moba Zoka here, and you have Josh Wider. Ruler was on. He left, due to some urgent situations he had to address. But let's take our first caller here. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Macaulay Jabba, calling from Johnsonville.
Yeah, Jabba, go ahead quickly. Let's hear your take on it. Talking.
Just want to ask my brother in studio there. I want to ask a few questions concerning the majority minority block. I want you to tell me when the majority block spent 3 months to RLJ Hotel. They were having session there. They were working at that time, and they were taking pay, and they were not taking pay also. These are questions I want you to make me to understand.
Okay, so what do you know about that question that you just asked?
Because I overhearing that minority block members are not in sessions, so they suspended them. And he's saying that it's good because they are not in session, which of course is true. So I want to know, when the minority block was to RLJ for 3 months, they were having session there, or who suspended them, or at that time they were not taking pay.
Okay, Mama, come in. Since the question is for you, come in.
Yeah. Let me answer that question. Thank you, caller. I appreciate your feedback. But at that time, they were in session. After session, that's where they used to go to have that meeting. They were all together. But not like they were spending the whole day there from in the morning to in the evening. No, they used to go there after session, doing session hour or session day.
Thank you, caller. I think you got your response. Let's take our brother Charles. Charles, you have 1 minute. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you, Nelson. It's always good to be here. But next thing I want to speak to the issue surrounding the capital building. You see, it is disappointing to hear my own brother Moba today speak the way he speaks when it comes to critical and serious national issues that borders around the constitution of our country. If Moba will be on this platform and encouraging people to disrespect the organic law of our country, is disheartening. The Supreme Court ruling on December 6th of 2024, people keep saying it's ambiguous. I personally don't see it that way, because it's just so clear. These people that we are discussing, some of them are lawyers. They are attorneys at law. They are legal practitioners. They are legal experts. James Colette, who is running around today, he is a legal person. He just graduated from the law school. He has a law degree. He understands the law. And so if the Supreme Court come out with a ruling making it clear, very clear, and saying any sitting not in conformity with Article 33 and 49 of the Liberia 1986 Constitution is ultra vires, which means unconstitutional. Go back and act accordingly. Who took action? Majority bloc took actions. What are the actions taking the speaker from the illegally, that following the procedures? And Mobile is sitting on this platform and talking about somebody, they're not going to get their pay and they can do anything. They will have a gentleman kind of discussion. Just send this
Thank you. Thank you, Trust.
To conclude.
Yeah, you're not a panelist tonight. You are a caller. So just take 20 seconds quickly.
Our constitution is not a gentleman kind of discussion. We're not having a gentleman kind of conversation around this constitution.
Thank you.
Richard Naweku and a group of gangs illegally.
No. Listen.
You already got something again.
We're not calling out lawmakers in that.
We already know that man got something again.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
So what?
Hello, your name and where you calling from? Let's hear you.
My name is Francis Van, join you Port River resident.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my question here to Maruba, if you're talking about they are sacking or the representatives, under who regime that they are doing this on of? Because Rachel Kun is now a speaker. Two, if you are saying that the seditions they are so able of we are saying yesterday when Joe's back called that little boy, what was your response to that? Three, how to call the vice president? We're calling President we are a common man. Yesterday, when this guy were insulting George Weah, what was your response to that? That's a 3 cardinal question that I have for you. I want you to address it now.
Thank you very much. You will address your questions. Let's take another person from this line. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. My name is Abba Kemuga in Caldwell.
Abba, go ahead.
All those people that worshiping President Weah, when President Weah called the former vice president at the time as the president, Joe the sleeper, they were laughing. So that one, we not carrying it nowhere. I respect the vice president comment. Musa Benite, I know what they call reciprocity. The Unity Party was endorsed by Samuel Koga. If Musa Benite is serious, then he deploy Sawyer on the Banga Highway to block the vice president convoy from going to campaign. He shouldn't be making a scare tactics. He making scare statement because we know he's playing. Let him train his Sawyer from whatsoever and block the Banga Highway.
Thank you.
Block the vice president because the vice president campaign all over in Nimba.
Thank you. Hello, your name and where you call from? Quickly. Okay, so let's go back to this line. Hello. Your name and where you calling from, sir? Yeah, go ahead quickly.
I think me no one laughing. I think the people, I think we are suffering. I think on the most serious note, I think we are suffering. I think I can come on the show for the CEO to empower our platform. I think my daughter not going to school. I think we are suffering. For them, more than say that we the ones suffering. I think I swear to God, we are suffering. I think for the solution where they will make all at least for our children. Let me to go to. I think we are suffering. Oh, we are suffering. I don't know if it's for me, but we are suffering. On the most serious note, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Let's hear you quickly.
Well, I'm Peter Topper. I call you from Johnsonville.
Peter, what's your take on the conversations tonight?
The first thing I want to appreciate you for the program. It is my first time to call on this program. I listened to the deliberation as it relates to our country. Let me say this to all of us, even those that are listening to us. This country, we have suffered a lot. We have a lot of young people that have come from university colleges, and they need better. The CDC-led government brought the country backward. And we will not sit here to see that they come back to power and carry the country where we don't expect. We expect that the lawmakers, stakeholders, work with the women to improve this country. We saw a lot of things that happened here. Auditors were killed, people got missing, and it doesn't often work for our country.
Thank you.
So when it comes to the issue of the senatorial election, I'm very optimistic that the issue of Samuel Koga will be the next senator of Nimba County. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. We'll take the last caller and then we wrap up for tonight from the callers. Hello.
Hello, good morning, man.
Yeah,
Good morning to
morning.
you guys.
Yeah.
I'm Augustine Tibosu calling from 72nd.
Yeah, let's hear you.
This is my first time calling on the program because I can monitor this program from the first group, which the CEO can handle them, and you come the second, most often. But I can really have changed, just grab the program. Whether today, by the grace of God, I'm there. But Melvin, let me just tell you the truth. These people came for 6 years, they have done nothing. They carry the country backward. They stole money. Now people trying to get this roll out. They still fighting, standing behind there, talking a lot of things, against the woman, what the woman is trying to put the country back together. They are still there doing things out of the way. What will beat them? One by one, they'll be beaten by God.
Okay.
Thank you. Sit here to be monitoring them, doing all those things like that, to be talking all kind of things. Or is the one that makes the country for all of us to be in it, and we will survive by the special grace of God.
Thank you very much.
My brother. Thank you.
So I think that's all the time we've got for the calls. Thanks to all of you calling in. I see all of the lines are coming through, of course, but we have to go. George, you want to do your closing, and then we take mobile, and then we wrap up for tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, I want to thank you for the show. Thank you for all of the comments and callers. Nelson, there's no doubt that everything, the reason we come on here, sacrifice our time to come on the show is to make sure that we make our contribution to the national discourse. And for better Liberia, Nelson. And no one will come here, waste their time just to cause noise. I believe what I say. And everyone has the right to believe what this, what they believe and say what they want to say. However, there is one reality. The reality here is that we all want a better Liberia. And if President Bouaka has come for a better Liberia, he should support the idea of openness. Nelson, what is happening at the legislature is shameful. We have never in any time of our lives as Liberians have experienced this. This is the most denigrating thing for our nation. Nelson, just go and Google Liberia now. You see the burning of the Capitol building, Nelson. That's why you see the fire coming from in the smoke. Nelson, that is a representation of our nation now on the internet. That is shameful. And guess what?
Said what coming from what?
The smoke coming from the Capitol building, Nelson. That's what you see. And that is now the representation.
The fire and the smoke, which one can cover in what? Because
well, where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. So they all intertwine. They come together, Nelson. So Nelson, the thing is, that's why you will see now. And guess what? On whose administration this shameful act has taken place, Nelson, is President Bouaka. Nelson, President Bouaka, instead of asking people, to say if you don't provide job, Nelson, he told us he was going to provide job, Nelson. That's why he told the common people, he said he will provide job. He said, look, Nelson, one of the things he said, and even on the show at the speaker, it was that he said he was going to bring NGOs back. Nelson, and I told people, I work with the United Nations, I work with NGO. I know that it was not going to be possible. He can't bring any NGO back. NGO come by their own volition, Nelson, because there is crisis. They come when there's war, when there's famine, there's disaster, natural disasters. They can't come when there's a government in place and everything is okay. Or unless he was telling her that he was going to bring war, and then because of the war, the NGO is going to come back, Nelson. And I told them, but this old man, President Bouaka, lied to the Liberian people, said he was going to bring job, Nelson. Now he cannot bring job. He's sitting up behind our decks. Nelson, look up President Bouaka now and look at it 1 year ago. It's a different man, Nelson. Guess what? It's the revival using our taxpayer money. Using our taxpayer money. That's why revive his life, Nelson. He's now look vibrant. Nelson, the way I see him, he even want to run for the second term, Nelson. Because he feels vibrant now.
You don't have,
the way I see him, he wants to. Nelson, he wants to run. And that's mark my word.
But just
let me conclude.
This thing is normal. I mean, politicians will say we're not going for former President George Weah said you are not contesting again after some time we're hearing that you're going for 2029.
It was petition, Nelson. That is a different case. Let me just complete, Nelson.
Yeah,
The thing
maybe
is that
President Barker was petitioned too. But I want to say thank you, Josh.
so I can't finish, Nelson. You always called me up.
It's been a great show, guys. I want to say thanks to everyone for participating tonight. Oh, Moba, you don't close here?
I'm close here. Josh took all
But
the
Nelson,
time.
I ain't even finished. You didn't even let me finish, Nelson.
5 minutes. The major talking on that was 5 minutes.
Just take 20 seconds and finish. Just take 20 seconds.
Thank you. Don't mom, Moba. He had to hear the truth. So, Nelson, we are in a state of confusion in this country. Nelson, people wake up every morning. There's a guy who just called and said he's suffering. His daughter is not in school, Nelson. He said, President Barker finding a way. Nelson, what President Barker wants to do is to remove speaker. Now, they say, before you swallow boom, what you can do, I'm going to call it, but you got to trust something off your part. Now, they swallow this boom and they didn't trust where it will come from. Nelson, this boom is causing trouble. And I want to send kudos to the speaker, Mr. Kofa, for standing his ground. Nelson, usually we give also easily in this country. That's why things continue to go the way they go. But this man, I want to thank him because guess what? The good thing is that he's not a broke man who will say, I needed money to survive, so I got to go and yield to it. He stood his ground and he's standing his ground. I want to thank him, kudos to him. Until the Supreme Court can break a ruling, Nelson, this standoff will continue and will not go away. Thank you. God bless you.
Very much.
God bless Liberia.
Mama, you want to do your closing?
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I always listen to a lot of seditions when they're talking about Joseph Barker, how he was poor, he was broke. Because you know what? He never stole when he was when he was vice president. He never enriched himself to get condominiums, to build houses, to get businesses. He only focused on what he was getting as a salary. That's the reason why I always say a poor man, he will not get nothing. He was broke. Yes, he was broke because he never invested in the Liberian people resources. So you will always complain about that. You will always complain. The Zambia president, the man who left office with $5,000. Look, let us be serious. We understand Liberia has a look. Nobody say Liberia is bread and butter. Liberia, we all praying and we all seeking that God help our country and our president should go out and fight for employment for our people, jobs. That's our prayer. We all pray for better Liberia. We all want the good thing to happen. But with all this happening, honestly, I'm going to know why they men are talking for almost 3. They men are almost 1 hour you are talking here, and I'm even going to know why you tell me thank you. My man don't do that to me, but yeah, but yeah, my man.
See a crying face. See a crying face.
Yeah, but everybody knows that's the reality. I know Nelson. Okay, let me conclude. Everybody knows that's the reality. Corruption, people in the government want to make the government look bad. And I believe that the president is taking key position and he's watching. Because we know end of the day, people will get fired from their jobs. And we're seeing it, people being suspended, and other things happening. Oh, it's not bread and butter. The president only get 2 eyes, and he can see everywhere. And people who bringing things, people who saying things to him, it's not everything he would that take action on. He got to do his own background investigation and other things. So the president, we pray that he bring more companies. Let Liberians work. It's our plan. But every day you beat on the old man, how he was poor, he didn't get nothing. When George Weah took power, he was poor. Nothing he was having for himself. We remember during the time we were 2011 when George Weah running for senator, the senator raising Maserado. I can remember. You know how many people cars George Weah borrowed? Josh, we were in Monrovia. I was teaching money. I knew about it. We shouldn't come here and be on Joseph Barker every day. He do that one, he do that one. Our brother Asmon Street. We know what George Weah did. We know how many people helped George Weah. 2010, 2011. I was in Liberia. So we shouldn't come every day because the vice president stole. So meaning he was poor. He really not get nothing. Now he's sitting. Yes, because he not invested the Liberian people money. So my Liberian people, the president, Joseph Barker, everything's not going down. As much we living, we will talk. What we see the wrong, we say it. So we beg y'all, we'll keep pushing the government to bring, or to sign some concession and bring company in the country. So our people, and also work on electricity, as the vice president doing. I forgot putting my closing, but tomorrow, as much will come on, I will start with it. The vice president running after
Thank you.
electricity as well. So thank you, and that God bless Liberia.
Well, I want to say thanks to you, Moba. Thank you, Josh, for being on. It's been a great show. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Thanks to our audience. Thanks to everyone who have been listening to the program tonight. Thanks to Lynn Lapo in the comment section, Madam Marcia Snelling. Thanks to you, ma'am. Thanks to William Jala. We appreciate Moses Colley as well. Thanks to all of you, McCarthy Johnson, William Passaway, Kelvin Jones, Gabriel Wule, I see Jenica Noah, Mohammed Fode, all of you. We want to say thanks for watching the program. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Nelson Collet. Have a good night and